whenever I do sessions, I have a really good colleague with me, and she speaks 11 languages. And it's her job to welcome everybody in their own language.
Oh, and now I feel a lot of pressure, yeah. But welcome, everyone. I see people are starting to come to the meeting. Welcome. We are waiting 1 more minute for people to join.
Hi, good afternoon. Oh, there's another Jan, very nice. Mike, hi.
Oh, nice to meet you.
There's Bob joined and Monica.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Aiste. Hi, Paul. Welcome. We will wait just a few seconds more because we have a lot to talk about and it's just half an hour. And we want to make the most out of it.
Oh, Tanya joined as well, a colleague of mine. Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Mike, from Australia. Wow. Hi, Kelly. Also, many Ashoka members are joining. Nice to see the team. Okay. Shall we start, Jan? Yeah.
Happy
Great.
to so.
So, welcome everyone to our first Changemaker Chronicle. The idea of this space is to introduce beautiful stories about the work of companies with Ashoka social entrepreneurs. My name is Daniela Kramer. I'm part of the Changemaker Companies team, and we are a team incepted by Ashoka a few years ago that is focusing on the work with companies. So what we do is to bring the knowledge, the inspiration, the expertise of our social entrepreneurs of Ashoka to the business, because there is a lot to do together between social entrepreneurs and employees in the corporate world. As you know, Ashoka has more than 4,000 social entrepreneurs in 90 countries. And we have these social entrepreneurs expertise in different fields, in different industries. So for us, it's very versatile to work globally with many companies that want to bring innovation. And today we want to present a case, the case of our largest corporate partner, and it's Boehringer Ingelheim. And the speaker today is Jan Kraus. He comes from Germany. He has a long experience in the supply chain in Boehringer, and he has also experienced many programs with us at Ashoka. And I'm a part of Ashoka for 11 years. I'm a big fan, so I think it's fair that Jan tells a bit more about our work. But for you to know, Jan experienced a lot of our products and services that had to do to create curated spaces where employees and leaders of companies can meet social entrepreneurs and together create value for society. So Jan, tell us, how did you start this journey?
Thanks a lot, Daniela, for the introduction, and a warm welcome also from my side to all over the world. Really impressed how many people turned in today. Very nice. Yeah, my name is Jan. Thanks for the introduction. Living in Germany, but acting globally. I work for Boehringer Ingelheim, a pharmaceutical company. 50,000 people right now we have in our team. And I'm working mostly in supply chain management. So how do the goods are produced and how the goods are getting all over the world to the customers. And while working at Boehringer Ingelheim, I got connected to some Ashoka initiatives in 2015 as an initial phase when we had this Syrian refugee crisis. And a lot of more than 1.5 million people came at the same time as refugees to Germany. And we as a community had the responsibility to welcome them and manage the life, how this can work out. And we did workshops with the help of Ashoka and a lot of Boehringer Ingelheim members to welcome the refugees, tell them how life in Germany is, how to where to shop, how to live, and how to get along in this new community. And this impressed me really much. I really liked the effort that we put in there. And 1 or 2 years later, I was approached because a social entrepreneur from Ghana quoted, "Thanks, Boehringer Ingelheim, for your support in a financial matter, but we also need supply chain knowledge. Can you help us with how to set up supply chains in the world?" And this got to me, rooted to me the call, because I work in supply chain. And after 2 calls and 2 months preparation, I was sitting in a plane to Ghana, to Accra, and spent 5 weeks down there to experience what it means to run an online pharmacy, what it runs, and how to get products in rural areas to people in need. This was mainly about animal health products. And when I realized pretty soon, when I started to understand how this works from Germany, I failed. Every time I failed to understand what's going on. So I had to really go there and then sit on a motorcycle and deliver goods by myself to understand what it means to run this kind of business in Ghana. And yeah, this is how it actually all started. That was 5 years ago. And if I take a jump now to today, the very same company, it's called Cow Tribe in Ghana. This very same company is delivering the products by drones now. So 5 years ago, motorcycle for hours I was driving, and now we have this drone delivery by a company called Zipline, which definitely changed dramatically the use of animal health products in Ghana.
Amazing. And I'm very curious, what happened in between in those 5 years? What happened in you? What changes did you experience, and what is for you to be a change maker today?
The very biggest part that changed within me was that I had the chance to work with social entrepreneurs, people that give pretty much everything they have into a purpose-driven company. So saying the health of animals in rural areas is important because they only have 3 cows, and if one dies, the kids cannot go to school, and that was on the table to change. And I had the chance to work with the social entrepreneurs, and I learned what kind of tough of a job this is. And it's not building up a company in a stable environment. It's a tough environment. There is basically not much money in the system, and but they still have to make it work. And that was a really, really impressive thing where I could learn a lot how to be tough, how to never stop. And stopping is never an option there. They're just adapting and seeing how this can be made possible. And this is a strength that I gained for myself.
That's amazing. And I know your story because we talked before, and I know that you took this inspiration and strength and lessons learned back to BI. Would you like to tell us a bit what happened after that experience?
Yeah, like, I don't know, when I started with a company in Ghana riding the motorcycle, this was a time when I realized this will be an ongoing journey, and it can never stop because it was such a big adventure. I've never thought about it. It put me way out of my comfort zone, but I felt that I like it. And I have people around me from Ashoka, from Boehringer Ingelheim, and from the social entrepreneurs that I can trust, bond with, and it will be a journey to continue. So since then I've taken on several supply chain related initiatives with social startups, but we also I just had this morning a coaching call where I take colleagues from Germany, and we do coachings for social startups. We know pretty much a lot about supply chain management, and we want to adapt this to the market in Rwanda. We are now helping an online pharmacy in Rwanda. We learn and we give back. So even my colleagues I take them in and they like it. The colleague I'm doing this she's in maternity leave right now, but for this course she will always come back and put the kids aside to work on these cases.
That is amazing.
This is the one part. that we constantly do, we also invite social entrepreneurs to our Boehringer Ingelheim classrooms, university classrooms. So we have booked a lot of, you can imagine 50,000 people need a lot of training. There's a lot of knowledge available that is not available to a social startup with five people only, or 10. So we invite them to come over, sit in the same classes, learn the same stuff that we learn, so we can develop at the same time and explore the African market, which is also really interesting for us.
So I hear you create a storytelling. You bring also inspiration to other colleagues, and also at Boehringer you are creating a space where everybody can learn about it and collaborate. Is that right? Would you say that is a good recipe to bring the change from within?
I have to say the fundamental, the basis of it was probably the accelerator program established with Ashoka, where we decide every year on a couple of new enterprises, social entrepreneurs that we want to support. So this gives kind of like the main direction. And then you pull in experts from all over the company to help, to support, to see. And some of them are really motivated, and some of them really get inspired and challenged by this. And if we find these people and we see there is a sparkle of motivation, we pour in some, I don't know, some gasoline to light the fire even more. Like give him a bigger challenge, give him a little bit more. And at the end, you can see who's moving forward and then throw dynamite in. And at some point, drones fly and the magic things happen that we see in the developments. So it's not about you cannot absolutely create all the employee engagement, but you can sparkle it and see who's up for it and who's up for a good challenge.
So great. I hear it's about a process, it's about rhythm, and also to find the right people and to bring the right tools, as you said. And do you have specific or concrete advice for the audience here? Because we know here in the audience there are many people wanting to create change within the business.
Well, I'm not the one to give advice, but I can talk about my learnings and see where I have which of my projects were most successful. And this is usually when I can connect the right dots. So just helping a social entrepreneur somewhere far away is one part. But when I can combine it with, now in this case, drone delivery, every supply chain member from my teams, they're getting excited about drone delivery because it's not happening in Germany, but it's happening in Rwanda, in Ghana, in Kenya. So I need to find a connection dot so people get inspired and get this wow effect. At the same time, we are now in Ghana delivering Boehringer Ingelheim products via drone. It's not much, and it's not about the money, definitely not. But having the picture ready, your products put on a drone, flying for 100 kilometers to a veterinarian out somewhere in Ghana, this creates a lot of energy and willingness to perform also in these areas. So it's I think about combining different elements. If you think HR, human resources, nowadays, at least in Germany, we have to fight really hard to get talents in. We have to be attractive to young talents. And we learned that they don't want to just work 9-to-5 jobs and harder. They want to have a good purpose, a good feeling, good environment within the company. And these tasks are always a good signal. And I was never turned down when I asked somebody, can you help me? I have a project in Rwanda. I have no idea how we could support, but let's dive in. And maybe one day we'll even go there to explore the country. So yeah, this is what I want to say. What I would say is the connecting part, making connections, and by bringing interesting projects, at least for me, that's interesting, you get up to the board level. I talk to board members about this drone stuff or other projects. I would never do that with my boring supply chain day-to-day work. There's some levels in between, and they would take all the presentations up to the board. But with things I do in Africa, I can move up and ask for help, ask for support, and tell them about my successes.
It's so beautiful to hear how these special projects and the impact ignites enthusiasm and joy in the company, because everybody, as you say, are joining and want to help. And I think that those are one of the best KPIs you can get. And you mentioned something before, and I want to come back to this as my last question, because I want also for the audience to interact with you. And is you mentioned the purpose, and you mentioned connection to the dots. How is it to connect business and the inner purpose of employees, and what happens? You explained a bit already, but what is this secret ingredient?
Yes, connecting the different purposes, I would say that's a magic behind it. At least that's for me. And when we think about purpose, it might be like, I don't know, I want to help people. I want to be do some charity work or whatever. But for me, it's there's way more purpose in what I do. I want to have an adventure. I'm up for something new. I don't want to do a 9-to-5 jobs for the rest of my life. And so I need to look for who can help me to fulfill this dream of an adventurous project. Who can help me to explore new ways that have never been done before? There's a purpose of connecting to people that I don't know yet. And I've expanded my network within the company and out of the company quite a lot, because the topics are different. It's easy for me. Whenever I go to a new country that I've not been before, I call up the ambassador of the country, the German ambassador in Ghana, I know, in Kenya, in Uganda. I just call them. I'm from a company. I have a cool project to do. I want to meet you. And they invite me. Believe it or not, they just open the door and say, oh, that's interesting. Probably because of the Boehringer Ingelheim big company name, but anyway, I like it, and when I need them for visa topics or whatever, I let them know. I call them up and say, we have a social startup. They need to come to Germany to our congresses, and it happens. Yeah. So it's not only I want to help people, want to create change in the world. I want to create change for my life as well, to have a fulfilling and adventurous life, let's say. That's what I'm looking for.
Thank you so much, Jan, for sharing so beautiful things. And I think we can tell also when you talk about this, how enthusiastic and passionate you are. And I think that also is helping in this opening doors and bringing new value to society. So thank you so much. And I would love to hear from the audience some questions. We have one here from Sarah. And the question is, I will read it. At Ashoka, we always say that changemakers need an enabling environment inside their companies. What does that enabling or supportive environment look like at a company like Boehringer? Do you have some examples, Jan?
Yes, yes, I do. And enabling in this case, in my case, means we will not stop you. That was the biggest learning. I have a regular job and I get paid, but there is freedom to operate. If I come up with a new idea, something that makes sense, that is helping in some kind of ways, paying into some kind of corporate values, like we care for society, we care for animals, for human health. If I can find a connection, there's always room to navigate and maneuver. And I've never had anybody telling me, don't do it. I rather prove it works and it helps. So this is the environment that I absolutely love. And it's fostered to be open, to develop yourself, to train your communication skills, intercultural skills. So this really helps the environment.
Thank you. Yeah, openness, trust, flexibility. That sounds like a very good recipe. We have two more questions. I would be interested in your experience of empowering people in Ghana and maybe elsewhere in Africa. This is from Bob.
Yeah.
Maybe I could just say why I asked the question.
Please, yes, Bob.
I do some work with entrepreneurs in Burkina Faso, and I've been there a couple of times to work with them, and empowering them to be empowered, to be in control of their lives, their actions, etc. is very, very difficult. They seem to be maybe as a kind of an ex-colonial country, kind of dependent on a lot of things, and they see it seems to. I find it. I mean, I think I get there eventually, but it's a very hard process, and I'd be interested in your experience.
Yeah, and I can definitely only speak for the people that I work with, but when we collected the social entrepreneurs, we're looking for people with a high energy, high drive. Of course, we invest money, but we invest our time, and we want to help them to make successful people even more successful. So I had the feeling the people I work with are high energy guys anyway. And even the high energy guys, they employ high energy supply chain managers, for example. I've been coaching a supply chain manager in Ghana since 3 years. Every second week we have a call and we talk about whatever is in her mind. It's kind of like a career coaching you would do wherever you are in the world. And she started as an assistant, moved now up to the head of operations, and now she's leaving the company to work with an even bigger company in a higher role. This is sad for our social startup, but it's a development empowerment. So I try.
I must admit, I mean, the people I work with, they're not shocker entrepreneurs. They are youngish, 30 years old, 33 years old, young people in Burkina Faso who want to make a change. But it seems to be they want change, but they want someone to make the change, and it's about empowering them to become the change.
And I think this you see all over in the world. We're doing coachings also with universities, university classes. You see people, yes, we want to do, but not now and not me. Somebody else has to help me. So I found this with colleagues of mine as well. I ask a lot of people. Some people promise a lot, but don't deliver.
Okay.
Sorry, maybe Ashoka can give you a little bit more.
Yes, exactly. I will say, Bob, we can connect afterwards and share with you some other programs Ashoka has for young people. And there is another Jan is raising his hand and he has a question.
Yeah, thanks. Special thanks to the other Jan. Really great to see your enthusiasm in that. It's really inspiring. If you look back and all those interactions that you had with the entrepreneurs, what they do may be different. Did you take for your personal day-to-day work back at the end? What has changed? How you deal with stuff that's on? And I work with Boehringer as well, right? What's going on in our beautiful company, and how does it, or did it help you to handle things maybe differently now than you did it before you had that experience?
Thanks for the question. And since you're with Boehringer as well, you might know this drink. You might have seen this.
Yes, of course.
And this is my very own personal social startup. So I started this 2 years ago. We thought, what can we do to train? We learned a lot, but how can we use it? And I want to prove that I learned something from those entrepreneurs. So I looked for some people, and we have a grape juice made out of Ingelheim grapes, so totally locally sourced. And with every bottle, we donate for a good cause in the region. So we connect to the region. And I can tell you, it sounds simple, but we're selling now 60,000 bottles every year, collecting 30,000 euros for good cause. And this is a tough business. It taught me how to do marketing. I had no idea marketing, how to do the quality checks, how to make contracts with suppliers, and how to work with the bureaucracy of registering new products. So yeah, this is kind of what changed in me, that I learned there's always a way. If you have good people and you have an idea, you have to fight, but it will work at some point. Somehow you'll make it happen.
That's a great example, and of course with Christian Dautermann, I mean, that's somebody who is exactly having the same spirit. That's great, right? Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you, Jan. And there are many questions, and I want to take one that is asking about how you create environments where this kind of initiative creates change inside large established companies as well, and systems. I think if we see this as a systemic way, how you accelerate the systemic change.
And once again, I think this the accelerator program, where we look for social entrepreneurs, is a really essential part, because it cannot sustain on small little initiatives one by one. It needs a systematic approach. It needs some funding, and then it needs the energy of the people, and getting this over a hurdle where at some point it's a whole community. Employee engagement is one of the words. Maybe Tanya, also from Boehringer Ingelheim, likes to hear that this gives the change to it. So as many as employees as possible need to be part of it, by even drinking only a sip of a grape juice, or we organize work. We're donating for a horse therapeutic place. So we invite people to work on that place. They put up fences, they build houses. So they spend a day contributing to the community. And this is when I think the ball is going to roll in a faster pace.
So it's about agency, it's about initiative, and to also give the space for people to do new things. Thank you so much.
And a lot of fun. Never forget the fun. It has to be an enjoyable thing to do. And this is when the fire starts and you can put more and more gasoline in.
Yes, and to support what you were saying, we learned at Ashoka, if you have in between 15 and 20% of the employees of the company in this road of the change making, of being entrepreneurs, this will escalate in the company, as you said, no? Also with super juice to drink. So thank you so much. There is any other question? We have 1 more minute. Well, or not. So it's time. Jan, thank you so much. It was very inspiring to listen to you today and also to prepare this call with you. Congratulations for your work and your passion.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me, and thanks for all to turn in today. I hope you have a good chance to, everybody does their share, and then we're getting to a happy place.
Yes, and we keep in touch, and we will have in the next Changemaker Chronicles soon, and we will keep you posted. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.